So I'm Aaron Kaufman, owner of Arclight Fab, and you're in Arclight Fab here in Grand Prairie, Texas.
Everyone remembers Aaron Kaufman, the bearded wonder who was the heart and soul of Gas Monkey Garage. But when he vanished from Fast and Loud at the peak of its fame, the real reason was buried.
Well, I mean, what does extended vacation mean?
To quote Stevie Nicks, I think I have to go my own way.
We're told it was about creative differences, but that's not even half the story. The truth involves crushing deadlines, a shocking ultimatum from the network, and a line that was crossed that he could never uncross. What happened to Aaron Kaufman is a story the show never wanted you to know, and his appearance today is the least shocking part of it. The Gas Monkey Exodus. When you think about Fast and Loud, you think of two people: the fast-talking deal-maker Richard Rawlings and the master mechanic with the epic beard Aaron Kaufman. They were the dynamic duo of the car world, turning rust buckets into gold and building a multi-million-dollar empire. Believe it or not, Gas Monkey Garage was pulling in an estimated $15 million a year at its peak, and the show was a global phenomenon. So when key players started dropping like flies, fans were really confused. Before Aaron's jaw-dropping exit, another shocking departure sent tremors through the fan base, one that set the stage for the chaos to come. It's funny when you think about it, but the first sign of trouble didn't even involve Aaron. It involved two other beloved mechanics, Tom Smith and Jordan Butler. These guys were fan favorites, known for their skills and their hilarious on-screen chemistry. They were part of the core family. So when they suddenly vanished from the show, rumors started swirling like a tornado. The initial story was that they left to start their own rival shop, a classic reality TV storyline. But the truth was a whole lot messier and more dramatic. The news first broke online, and at first nobody believed it.
Almost all great men or people who have had a major impact on the world have been fired.
People thought it was just internet gossip. In the age of social media, wild stories can spread in minutes, and fans hoped this was one of them. Psychologists call it confirmation bias. We tend to reject information that contradicts what we want to believe. And fans wanted to believe the Gas Monkey family was unbreakable. But as more credible sources confirmed the news, the shocking reality set in. Tom and Jordan were out. The reaction was intense. Viewers felt like they had lost two of their own. So what really happened? For a while, everyone stayed quiet.
And you know, success doesn't always mean a win, but having a positive outcome. And so that's it. I mean, just quite simply put, is the things that you want in life is to put yourself where those things are happening and be prepared to grab hold when it shows up, because it will show up. And if you're not prepared, it'll pass you by.
In the high-stakes world of television, people rarely air their dirty laundry in public. But eventually, Tom Smith sat down for an interview with TMZ and laid it all out. He revealed that he and Jordan didn't just leave, they were let go. The reason? It all came down to a single fateful moment involving Richard Rawlings' prized Rolls-Royce. According to Tom, a fan visiting the garage who was dealing with a serious health condition simply wanted a picture next to the luxury car. Thinking it was a harmless request to make a fan happy, Tom agreed. He had no idea what was coming next. When Rawlings saw the photo, he reportedly lost his cool. Tom described a tense confrontation where his boss was furious that someone had been so close to his treasured car. In most jobs, you're expected to just take it when the boss is upset. But Tom, feeling he'd done nothing wrong, pushed back. Jordan stood by him, and in that heated moment, Rawlings decided their time at the garage was over. They were dismissed.
The reasoning I got fired from, not really a good one. If it was a good one, I wouldn't be all upset about it. But for calling your boss, there's no reason to get fired for that.
This single incident reveals the incredible pressure cooker environment at the garage, where a simple photo could end a career. It showed that even for fan favorites, job security was anything but guaranteed. The incident became the catalyst for them to launch their own competing shop, Fired Up Garage, creating a direct rivalry with their old boss. This whole dramatic saga set a crucial precedent. It proved that no one, no matter how popular, was truly safe from the pressures and politics behind the scenes at Fast and Loud. If Tom and Jordan could be cast out over a photograph, what else was going on off camera? It made fans wonder what it would take for the biggest star of them all, Aaron Kaufman, to leave. They would soon find out.
Aaron tends to focus on bigger, more time-consuming tasks that are one of a kind. So, in 2017, Aaron left the Gas Monkey garage.
The stage was set for an even bigger shockwave, one that would change the show forever. The dream of bigger things. With Tom and Jordan gone, all eyes were on the remaining king of the garage, Aaron Kaufman. He was more than just a mechanic, he was the creative heart of Gas Monkey. His partnership with Rawlings was the show's bedrock. They were friends, business partners, and the reason millions tuned in every week. So the idea of him leaving seemed impossible. There were no public fights, no obvious signs of trouble. Then, out of nowhere, the bearded wonder announced he was done.
I had kind of had enough, and obviously Richard and I were having a difficulty being in the same building together, and so it was his building, it's his show, it's his operation, and I was happy to move on with things.
It was an earthquake in the reality TV world, and this time the reasons went much deeper than a single argument. Unlike the drama with Tom and Jordan, Aaron chose to announce his departure himself. He explained that his reasons were not about a personal feud with Richard, but about a deep professional and creative crisis that had been building for years. The problem, in a word, was deadlines. The television network had a formula for success: build cars fast. Viewers have a short attention span, and the network wanted a completed car in almost every episode. This meant the builds had to be simple, quick, and repetitive. It was great for ratings, but for a true artist like Aaron, it was soul-crushing. You gotta wonder what that does to a person. Aaron wasn't a guy who just bolted parts together. He was a master fabricator, an artist whose medium was metal. He got into the business to push boundaries and build incredible, one-of-a-kind machines. But on Fast and Loud, he was stuck in a creative loop. The show's relentless schedule, often demanding a full car build in under 2 weeks, meant there was no time for the complex, innovative work he craved. The projects that once excited him had become a chore. He was building cars for television, not for the love of the craft. It's a classic case of passion turning into a day job, and it was eating him alive.
The things that you want in life, if you see where they're happening, and I do mean physically and metaphorically, put yourself in line for the opportunity to find you and be prepared to take it on.
His dream was to build bigger things. Specifically, he had a lifelong passion for old Ford F-Series trucks. We're talking massive, powerful Ford F-100 pickups from the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. These weren't the quick flips the show was known for. These were giant, complicated projects requiring immense skill, time, and dedication. He wanted to re-engineer them from the ground up, turning them into high-performance marvels. The network, however, wasn't interested. A 6-month truck build doesn't make for exciting weekly television. He was trapped. To pursue his dream, he had to leave the show. It wasn't an easy decision. Before his fame, Aaron was working in a local Dallas garage, feeling his incredible talent was going to waste. It was Richard Rawlings who discovered him and gave him the platform to become a star. He never forgot that, and he didn't want to seem ungrateful. He stayed for as long as he could, trying to find a balance, but the pressure was too much. He felt he was losing a part of himself with every quick, formulaic build. In an interview, he admitted that the deadlines and the types of builds were taking such a toll on him that he wasn't the same person anymore.
We've been working here under unbelievable deadlines, unbelievable pressure for at least the last 5 years.
The fun was gone. The decision was made. He was choosing his passion over his paycheck, his sanity over his celebrity status. He was walking away from the show that made him a household name to build the trucks he dreamed of as a kid. But what happens when you walk away from a hit show to start from scratch? The next chapter was a huge gamble. From star to boss. Quitting a hit TV show is like jumping out of a plane without knowing if your parachute will open. It's a massive risk. For every star who finds success after leaving the show that made them famous, you can find a dozen others who simply disappeared, becoming a trivia question years later. Aaron Kaufman knew this. He was betting everything on himself, on his raw talent, and on a vision that nobody else could see. After he walked away from the global sensation Fast and Loud, he didn't take a fancy vacation or lie low to count his money. He got to work. The very next day, he was planning his next move. He immediately founded his own company, Arclight Fabrication, right in his hometown of Dallas, Texas. But let's be clear, this wasn't just another car garage. It was meant to be a temple for gearheads, a special place dedicated to the exact kind of work he was forbidden from doing on the show.
This is our first long-term builds bay, so we can pull engines here, obviously build the whole car. We wanted to keep them tight. This is more than a TV studio. What this is a manufacturing facility, and then build some cars.
His new mission was to build the most incredible Ford F-Series trucks on the entire planet. He poured every dime he had and every ounce of his energy into this new venture. His goal was crystal clear: to become the world's #1 expert for aftermarket parts and full custom builds for Ford F-100 trucks, specifically models from the years 1957 to 1979. By focusing on this one specific type of classic truck, he knew he could perfect his craft and become the undisputed king of that niche. He wasn't just a boss who sat in an office. He was a leader on the shop floor. He hunted across America for a dream team of builders, welders, and mechanics who shared his belief in quality over quantity. He wanted artists, not just assembly line workers. And because of his stellar reputation, the best of the best were eager to join him. It's an amazing fact that his new shop's reputation grew so fast that it became the go-to place for serious collectors almost overnight. Orders started pouring in before the paint on the walls was even dry.
We made a big effort to have it the most polished, the most finished vehicle that we'd ever done or to date.
And here's where the story takes another fascinating turn that sounds like it's straight out of a Hollywood movie. Rumors began to fly that one of the first people to invest money into Arclight Fabrication was none other than his old boss, Richard Rawlings. Think about that. Even after their professional split, Rawlings is a smart businessman. He knew Aaron's talent was like a license to print money. Whether they were still friends or now rivals, Richard wasn't going to miss out on a golden opportunity. This shocking twist suggests that even with all the creative differences, a deep level of respect and good business sense remained between them. Today, at 43 years old, Aaron Kaufman is a completely different person. The long, iconic beard that made him famous is gone, replaced by a shorter, more mature and focused look. It was more than just a shave. It was a symbol that he was starting a new chapter. He's no longer just the talented guy on a TV show, he's the man in charge, the CEO, the brain behind the whole operation. His company, Arclight, is a massive success, creating award-winning trucks that are celebrated for their incredible engineering and beautiful artistry.
We make power. It's not anything like where I want it to be. And I know it's crazy to bring a car like this to King of the Hammers. It's not the right car, but it's the car we have right now.
He even returned to television, but this time it was on his own terms. With shows like Shifting Gears with Aaron Kaufman and Aaron Needs a Job, he gets to explore his true passion for machines without the crushing, soul-destroying deadlines of his past. But let's be real for a second. Does a success story like this ever happen so cleanly? A guy gets fed up with his job, quits, and immediately builds a world-famous company? It really makes you wonder. The thing is, we only ever see the perfect, polished story they want us to see. What about the parts they don't show on camera? Were there sleepless nights where Aaron stared at the ceiling, wondering if he'd made the biggest mistake of his life? Were there days when the bills were piling up and the phone wasn't ringing? Did he ever feel a pang of regret when he saw Fast and Loud on TV without him? It's easy to look at his success now and think it was a simple, straight path to victory. But the reality of starting over is always messy and filled with doubt. We're given a neat little story, but the true journey was likely far more difficult than we'll ever know. He absolutely achieved his dream, but the real price he paid for his freedom and his art remains his own secret. So, was Aaron's departure a brave move for artistic freedom, or was he pushed out by pressures we still don't fully understand? Let us know your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more untold stories.